Yeah, thank you, Nola. It is a short poem, yeah. I pay homage to a great revolutionary cultural activist, musician. It's going to take a lot of time until we understand what Julian Bahula was all about. He, with Dudu Pugwana, Mongezi Feza, Louis Moholo, changed the shape and image of British jazz. But before that, in the early 70s, when we were conscientizing the people, Julian, Steve Biko's journeyman, the man of magnitude, I send you home with the pen of Donald Matera. This land, the whole land, each grain of sand, north to south, east to west, the given earth, the best lands, the hills, the valleys, the mountains, Bahula's land. This beautiful country must be freed with all the blood it takes, the robust rivers, the timid brooks, the dams, the lakes, the lagoons, Limpopo ventricles that feed the soil, Umfolozi, Tugela, the Orange, the Val, memories of battle against settler streets. The waterways must be washed with all the tears it takes to cleanse the streams of Bahula land. These cornfields and faces of sunflower, sprawling farms, crawling grass and tree, vineyards, the orchard, bursting with fruit, grazing grain, bramble bush, defiant cactus, the desert dunes, flashing swords against Praetorian knaves. These gifts of earth must be reclaimed with the pain it took to fill the million graves, the brazen cities, the stolen mines, the minerals of our sweat, the teeming ghetto of the dormitory cell, the towns, the squalid squatter camps. We hope smoothers in the air. The furnaces of indifference must incarcerate this land, the whole land, Bahula's land. Let me explain, Brother Juliano. Farewell, my brother. Amandla.
Wow. Kasi pedi rere. Di tseba ga dina di khurumelo le ikwetse. Ele sa kwe Sispinki. What it means is that when you've got ears that don't have lids that you have had, I suppose you're next to the MEC, she will interpret certain things to you. I trust this has lifted Linda's spirits to come and pay tribute as part of Makatini, for the Makatini family. Linda, Makatini on stage. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, it did lift my spirits, but I am still feeling very nervous, and I will do something I normally do not do. I normally speak from the heart, but I had to write it down so that I don't forget anything. It is indeed a solemn event today. Thank you, everybody, for being here. On behalf of the Makatini family, I am here to pay tribute, but also to bid farewell to a gentleman we all called Mr. B. The only person that did not call him Mr. B was Pinky, and she called him darling. Mr. B's stature, locally and internationally, has been highlighted by many, particularly in these last 10 days. His musical prowess, how many lives he touched deeply, has been repeated by many. There's been public articles, locally, internationally, to discuss Mr. B, as I've known him to be. And for me, if you allow me to talk about Mr. B, a husband to my sister, a son-in-law to our family, and a stepdad to my sister's kids. Mr. B was a loving and caring husband to my sister. Once they had decided they were going to spend the rest of their life together, it became a rare sight to see them apart. Sometimes you travel to London hoping to spend time with Pinky, but it was interspersed by, in between Pinky and Mr. B, and Pinky going to Mr. B, or Mr. B going to Pinky, and it took some getting used to realize that he wasn't the husband that Pinky could disappear to, and then we'd see each other and spend a day, 2 days together. They were a rare sight to see them apart from each other. They deeply shared together a sense of calmness and satisfaction of just being. No words most of the time, just being. Even when Mr. B became ill and his care was around the clock, Pinky still seemed very happy and very proud to take on the task of taking care of Mr. B, because he made it easy for her to do that. His appreciation was always in his eyes. He never took anything she did or the decisions she took to take care of him, solely stopping everything else. He never took it for granted. He would say thank you for each gesture of care that Pinky showed him. That thank you would be continuous for each gesture. It wouldn't be thank you today or thank you yesterday. Always gracious and kind. We are grateful to Mr. B for that. He was fiercely protective of Pinky and anyone that Pinky cared for. That is how we, the Makatinis, were inherited by Mr. B. We became part of the VIP inner circle, with him as the alpha male guiding against any potential intruders that may bring harm to this circle. Again, I want to say we appreciate and thank you for that. Pinky's children became a part of his life with no question or doubt. He assumed the role of father and guided them, praised them, and criticized them freely, without the usual constraint that we normally see from step-parents. When they come in, but halfway they want to step back. Mr. B did not read step in this mandate of being a stepfather. He ignored the step totally, and he became a father, and he assumed the role of father. They equally fell in line with that and appreciated Mr. B. Mr. B fell ill around March of this year with a blockage in the bladder. He underwent several procedures to try and identify the source of this blockage. These various operations and interventions were taxing on his body, and it became weaker each time he did that. Around September, Pink and Mr. B received the devastating news of a diagnosis of cancer. And by that time, all possible interventions that would have been possible were said to have been too late. Mr. B showed even more strength by confronting this fact head on and calmly, and very realistically, pragmatically so. He started making plans. He started making plans for his departure. His first plan was to come back home. Once home, he called 2 of his friends, called them in, and he explained to them the situation, and he asked them specifically to make a promise to him. He asked them to assist Pinky through this process of his departure and the funeral plans. The protective Mr. B that I spoke about earlier till the end, selfless and loving, even whilst facing his final hour, he was still thinking of how will Pinky manage this process, and he entrusted that to his friends. We, the Makatini family, thank you, Mr. B, for your time with us. We thank you for the time with our sister. We thank you for the love that you showered to her. We thank you for providing her this inner calm and confidence of knowing she is loved and cared for till eternity. We hope, this is my hope, we hope you felt our love and respect to you back as loudly as we felt yours. Go well, Mr. B. We will forever keep you close to our hearts.
Thank you, Linda. She's put everything into perspective. Everyone who wanted to know what had been happening in Mr. B's life just prior to his passing on before we were going to lay him to rest, you got it from the horse's mouth, from the Makatini family. Thank you, Linda. So beautiful. And, you know, it is said that those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day, unseen, unheard, but always near, still loved, still missed, and very dear. And you get that from what Linda has read. I'm going to call Mrs. Bahula's best friend, Nomusa, to come and read what, if Pinky had an opportunity to do herself to do it, she would have, and she would read it out to us. I'm just checking the time. I don't know if we're stealing away from the chaplain, from when you have to start, but just before she did that, I just wanted to just get a little flute in, and for Nomusa to stand up. I suppose I can do that, yeah? Can I please have Mr. Pondlovu, please just come with your flute and just lift, you know, give us the beautiful melancholy. That's not supposed to, you know, sometimes you become melancholy because you are happy, or you're in love, or, you know, or the kind of melancholy also that Khonsi just gave us here about her granddad. And I'm sure Prudence felt it too. Yeah. Thank you. Just we have that, and then Nomusa can come. Are you here? Mr. Ndlovu is one of the Malombo proteges, and we'll get more music when you go out. When the Malombo had been around, he was a protege of Dade Ebiqindi and the Malombo, both Dade Julian. So it's very key and important that he's here. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's a short piece.
Nombo, haha. Then you were not born then, I'm telling you. Thank you. And Nomusa, best friend, sister, relative, and Mrs. Bahula's anchor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nakedi. And thank you for that lovely tune. I can't see the gentleman now. When you're not used to wearing hats, this is what happens. Anyway, it is a privilege to be given something so personal by my friend Pinky, which is a letter that she wrote to her dear husband, Mr. Julian Bahula. And it goes like this. I find it incredibly difficult to put it into words, the immense grief and sadness that has enveloped my heart since you left us, following your violent battle with cancer. Every day, I yearn for your presence, for the sound of your voice, and for the warmth of your smile. The void you have left behind is immeasurable, and I'm struggling to come to terms with the fact that you are no longer with us. Your passing arrived suddenly, despite the doctor's predictions, and it feels as though I was not ready to let you go. I had hoped and prayed for just a little more time with you, clinging to the hope that God might grant us some reprieve. I am eternally grateful that you made it home as you had wished, to spend your last days back home, and had not wished you to pass away in foreign lands. The trip back home was incredibly difficult for you, and you endured the pain and discomfort with fortitude and dignity. My love for you and the beautiful moments we shared made the idea of parting with you unbearable. Your smile, your infinite patience, your tender love and care, your insatiable curiosity, and your myriad talents made you the extraordinary man that you were. We were an exceptional team, and your absence has left me feeling utterly lost. However, in the midst of this profound sadness, there is solace in the knowledge that you loved me until the very end. We had the opportunity to reaffirm our love for each other just an hour before you left us. Your humility and grace never ceased to amaze me. Your gratitude for the love and care we shared was something I cherished, and my response, as always, was to tell you not to be silly, as it was simply a reflection of the deep love and respect I held for you. You were not just a loving husband, you were one of the finest individuals I've ever known. Your love for me was unwavering, and you never missed a chance to show it. You were my confidant, my loving partner, my protector, and a loving stepfather to my 3 children, Ubuhle, Unomvula, Notabani. Your love extended to my family, the Makatinis, and you embraced them with open arms, unconditional love and acceptance. Your kindness, your infectious smile, and your selflessness touched countless lives and fostered beautiful connections with people from all walks of life. You were always ready to lend a helping hand, putting the needs of others before your own. You will be pleased to know that your 2 grandchildren, Khonse and Prudence, have been a source of comfort and will continue to lean on each other for strength and support. Your legacy of compassion and generosity will continue to inspire me and those lives you touched. Darling, I am still trying to navigate the world without you by my side, but I find comfort in the knowledge that I kept my promise to you, never leaving your side throughout your battle. Our beautiful memories, your deeds, and your love will forever be my guiding light in times of darkness. As long as I live, you will always be the love of my life, and your memory will continue to bring me strength. Rest in eternal peace, my beloved. You will forever reside in the deepest chambers of my heart with all of my love, Pinky. Thank you.
Thank you. You did justice to that. So touching. Thank you, Nomusa. And thank you, Spinky, for sharing Brother Julian with us. Brother Julian was shared by all of us. We just, we claimed him, we loved him. He was everything to us. He was everyone's bestie, as I said. Thank you for that. The two people that Linda talked about who were entrusted with running his affairs after he had passed on, that Linda said he had called, and Linda didn't mention them. When Tate Rapitsi Monsu and Tate Opapilu, who I'm going to call now to read the obituary. Yeah, I can't believe we are just, as Africans, we just want to go on and on. We have such little time, but and Tate Opapilu, please come to read the obituary. As it does that, can we just have, please, if we can all stand up and not too much noise, very nice background music as Date Pirlo will read the obituary for us. Thank you.